بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. October 2024 US version 2 من digital SAT exams. Let's start with module 1. First, the question of module 1 is question number 4. Which expression is equivalent to this one? In this bracket, you can find x power 2 minus 100 y power 2, and this we can factorize with using difference between two squares factorization method. So the 11 is a scaling factor, you leave it as it is, and we factorize this bracket to square root x power 2, which is x, and another x, and square root 100 y power 2, which is 10y, in both brackets, and one of them is negative and the other is positive. That's the difference between two squares factorization method, because if you multiply those two brackets, you can find x times x is x power 2, and the middle terms is going to be cancelled together, and negative 10y with 10y is negative 100y power 2. So this is the value 11 times x minus 10y times x plus 10y. That's it. Not both of them is negative. There's no 2 here and 50 here, so that's wrong. This is the correct answer. This from expressions and equations or factorization. There is a lesson in the website called the factorization. Write the name of the lesson so you can improve it using the our improvement plan. Question number 6. Triangle JKL, the measure of both angle J and angle K are equal, and the measure of angle L is 134. What is the measure of J? So we have isosceles triangle. Why isosceles triangle? Because he said that two angles are equal. Angle J and angle K are the same angle. So this is the isosceles triangle. This side is equal to this side. And he said that angle L is 134. The sum of the measurements of all the angles inside the triangle is 180. So 180 minus 134, that leaves us with 46 degrees for both of those angles. So divide 2, that one is 23 degrees and this one is 23 degrees. Let me know if you understand. This from Geometry 1 or Properties of 2D Shapes. The name of the lesson is Properties of 2D Shapes. Write the name of the lesson so you can improve this lesson through our improvement plan. Question number 10. The table shows three values of z and their corresponding values of y. There is a linear relationship between x and y. So where is it? Maybe this is typing mistake. Maybe this is x2. The table shows three values of x and their corresponding values of y. There is a linear relationship between x and y. What is the y coordinate of the y-intercept of the line in the xy plane that represent this relationship? So he gave us some points and he wants to know the y-intercept or the value of y at x equal to 0, and it is there already. He said when x is equal to 0, y is equal to 12. So we don't have to do anything. We don't have to get the slope or to get the y-intercept. We already know that if x is equal to 0, so this term will be 0, y is equal to 12. So b is equal to 12. The y-intercept, the y-coordinate of the y-intercept is 12. That is the fastest way. And the x-intercept, by the way, the x-intercept is the value of x when the y is equal to 0. So this is the y-intercept. Here is the x is equal to 0. So that's 12 and this is 0. But here it is the value of x and y here is equal to 0. All the this line, the x-axis, is the same as y equal to 0. Y equal 1 is a horizontal line at y equal 1. Y equal 2 is a horizontal line at y equal 2. Y equal 0 is the x-axis. That's from linear equations or linear function. Listen, write the name of the lesson. Linear equation or linear function. That's a basics lesson. Very important one. Question 11. How many points do the graph of the two, give us two linear equations intersect at xy plane? This from linear system, and we don't have to solve this system. We only need to investigate. Is it two lines with different slopes, so they have one point of intersection, or they are two lines with same slope, so they have infinitely many solutions or no solutions? This one have a slope of 1 and this one has a slope of 7, so they have different slopes, so they have one point of intersection. We don't need to get the point of intersection, but you can using elimination or substitution. You can remove, take this 7x, which is the value of y, put it instead of y here. So 7x will be equal to x plus 24, and then you solve for x. Then you substitute or plug in with x and get y. But he don't want any of that. He just want to know what is the number of solutions. That is from lesson linear systems. Linear systems or system of linear equations. Question 14. The figure above consists of rectangle and semicircle, where the length of wx is 20. That's if this one is a semicircle, so this is the diameter. So here's the diameter is 20. Also, it is the side of the rectangle. Uh, and the length of wz is 5. This one is 5. And the diameter of the semicircle is wx. Which of the following expression represented the area of the in square units of this figure? The area of the semicircle is pi times radius power 2 times half. This is the area of circle, so we take half of it, plus the area of the rectangle, which is length times width. So the length here is 20, the width is 5, plus pi times the radius. The diameter is 20, so the radius is 10. So it is 10 power 2 divide 2. That will be 100 divide 2, which is 50. Then 50 pi plus 20 times 5. That's it, which is 100. But it wrote it like this in the explanations, in the model answers. Let me know if you understand. This from properties of 2D shapes plus circles, because we took all the 2D shapes and except the circles, we took it in another uh, um, video. So check those two lessons, circles plus properties of 2D shapes or geometry 1. Okay, next question is 16. No, 12. We missed the 12. Question 12. The cost to rent a bus company from company X is $850 for the first 2 hours and an additional $30 for each hour after the first 2 hours. That's a type of linear equations, but now we don't have the slope and initial value directly. Look, he said that $850 are the amount for the first 2 hours, so we cannot just put the initial value with 850. Those 850 consists of two things, the initial value plus the amount of the first 2 hours. So when we say 850, we know that we already paid for the first 2 hours. So the next, this 30 seems to be like the slope. But if you said x, now you made the 850 the initial value. We need to put, to make sure that we already paid for the first 2 hours. So we need to pay for the hours except the first two. So here we will say 30 multiply x minus 2. This is the linear equation. If you need to know what is the exact initial value in the initial value concept from the linear equation, you can multiply the 30 inside, you can distribute the 30 inside the bracket, so it will be 30x minus 90 plus 850. So 850 minus 90 is 700, positive 760. So this will be the actual initial value for the line. If you want to graph it, it will be starting from 750 with slope equal to 30 in each 1 hour, we move up 30. But it cannot be like this in the real situation. So what, how to write it in a real situation? In the real situation, you need to see to do it as a piecewise function or piecewise equation. So we will say y is equal to, if he will just use it for 2 hours, he will only pay 850, not just $30 per hour. No, he will pay the 850, all of them. So x, if x is less than or equal 2 hours, this is a value. But if x is more than or equal, so more, no, not or equal, only more than 2 hours, we will use this equation, which is 30 times x minus 2 plus 850. So if he took this bus for like 1.5 hour, he will pay 850. 1 hour, he will pay 150. But more than 2 hours, we use this equation. So this is a piecewise equation or piecewise function. Let's continue this question. It could be much easier, but I want to clarify everything here so you don't miss any kind of any future questions coming like this. If the total cost to rent the bus from company X for T hours, so he didn't use X, we used the X, he used the T, is this value. So we know he using T more than 2. So we're using this equation or this one. So now you can say that the Y is equal to 1030, and we will exchange Tx with T, and 30 times T minus 2 plus 850 is the actual equation. So if we solve this, we can get the the actual number of hours he used. So that's it. 30 times T minus 2 plus 850 equal 1030. This is it. This one is wrong. It is not 2t. The 2t is not multiplied 850, and the t minus 2 is not multiplied 850. Press 1 or send 1 or comment 1 if you understand this question. That's from linear equations or linear functions, and also it has part from a piecewise function. You should understand this piecewise thing. It it separates the domain of the equation for two or more parts, and for each part of the domain you have different equations. Okay, question 16. Question 16, he gave us an exponential equation which is like y equal a times r power x. A is 224, r is something more than 1, so it is exponential equation that is growing. It starts from 224 and keep going up. The certain bank account from 1953 through 1968, where Z is the number of years after the end of this value. I think this Z is X. X is the number of years after 1953. So at 1953, he puts $242 in the bank, and the bank give interest by 4% because he multiplied it by 104 each year. 104% is the same as 1.040. So now, which is the following best interpretation for f of 5 approximately equal to 194? So after 5 years, the value he invested in this bank became equal to 294. So the 294 is the initial value plus the interest. So now the value of the bank account is estimated to approximately $5, not $5 after 5 years, estimated to be $294 at the end of 1958. Yes, that's after 5 years, because they said at x equals 0, it is year 1953. So at x equal 5, it is 1953 plus 5, which is 1958. That is the correct answer. He didn't say it 5 times. It is not 5 times. It is not every 5 years it approximately increased by this amount. No, that's that question from linear versus exponential equation or only exponential equation. There's 2 lessons in the basics course you can review: exponential equation or linear versus exponential, or also the sequences. All of those 3 topics can teach you how to solve this kind of questions. That one is really easy if you understand the exponential equation. Question 17. Question 17 gives us a quadratic function, but this quadratic function is in a somehow a strange way. We get used of ax power 2 plus bx plus c. Now instead of x here, he said 2x minus 7. So I can expand this bracket and multiply this one by negative 8 and do the first power 2 and second power 2 and the first time second power 2 to expand this square bracket. But we can do also another thing that we can like say, let's say that y is equal to 2x minus 7. So this is y power 2 minus 8y plus 15. Now we can go to our calculator and use it to get what is the value of y. Here's the calculator, mod 5 3, or using Desmos calculator, mod 5 3. That is the quadratic equation. So the coefficient of the second degree is 1, and the coefficient of the first degree is negative 8, and the coefficient of the 0 degree is 15. So now y is equal to 5 or equal to 3. So now we know that 2x minus 7 is equal to 5 or equal to 3. So we can say that 2x minus 7 could be equal 5. So 2x could be equal 12. So x is equal to 6. Or 2x minus 7 is equal to 3. So 2x is equal to 10. So x is equal to 5. So we have one of two solutions, either 5 or 6. One of those. Okay, that is from quadratic equations or quadratic functions or parabola. All of those are the same lesson. They are the same topic. Okay. Okay. Question 20. Sorry, 19 first. Question 19. The function f is defined by, and it gives us a polynomial with 3 roots. Those are 3 factors. Each factor of them has 1 root. The root here is 8, here is 5, here is 3. So this polynomial passes through 8, 5, and 3. 3, 5, 8. And it is looking like this, pathing here and there, because the scaling factor is positive 1. The graph of g of x is resulting of translating the graph y equal f of x by 3 units. But he didn't say translating 3 units to right or to left. He said that this one is g of x, sorry, f of x. This is f of x. Y equal f of x. But he said that g of x is the resulting of translating this graph, oh yes, up 3 units. So you will take this up 3 units. Okay. So g of 0 is equal to f g of x is at all is the taking f of x and translating it up 3 units, and that's by taking f of x plus 3 outside of the bracket. The value of f of x is plus 3. So when he asks for f g of 0, that's f of 0 plus 3. What is the value of f of 0? Let's put x with 0. It is f of 0 is equal to negative 8 times negative 5 times negative 3. Negative 8 times negative 5 is a positive 40 times negative 3, that is negative 120. Negative 120 plus 3 is equal to negative 117. That's it. If you understand this question, press 1. This from 2 topics. The first one is polynomials. The second one is function transformations. You should know what is the meaning of translating up 3 units. So you have 2 lessons to revise here. Function transformations, very important. Also the polynomials, so you can understand what is this polynomial do. But this is the not the key for solving this question. The key for solving this question is function transformations. Question number 20. This is a circle equation. X plus 3 power 2 plus y minus 18 power 2 equals 169. That is exactly equal x minus h all power 2 plus y minus k all power 2 equals radius power 2. So now we know that the center is negative 3 and 18, and the radius is square root 169, which is 13. He's saying the point AB lie on the circle. Which of the following is a possible value for A? So let's draw this circle. It starts from negative 3, x is equal to negative 3, and y is equal to 18. Okay? And we know that the radius is equal to 13. So if this one is 18, we go down 13. So we go down until 18 minus 13, which is 5. And we go up 13. Okay? So 18 plus 13 is 31. And we go left 13, so that takes us to negative 16, and we go right 13, that takes us to 10. Okay, so now here is the circle. This is our circle. So excuse me because I didn't draw it as a exactly circle, but it should be circle. So we know that this far is 13, 13, 13, 13, which is root 169. So now we know that the x values of any point on this circle is between negative 16 and 10. If you draw the circle, it should be between any x value on this circle, it should be between negative 16 and 10. So negative 17 cannot be. Negative 12 is a possible value. 13, which is here, cannot be. 18, which is here, cannot be. This is the only x value that can be. Also, you can draw this one on Desmos because you can use Desmos in the digital SAT exams. If he ask it for B, B is from 5 until 18 plus 13, which is 31. If you understand, send 1 or comment with 1. This is from circle or circles lesson. Topic circles. There is two kind of circles in the same video. Algebra of circles and geometry of circles. This combine both of them because you should know the algebra, how to read the equation and how to draw the circle. Question 21. Last question in module 1. Right triangle ABC is shown. What is the value of sine A? This is the value of A. Sine A is the opposite over the hypotenuse. So we should know first what is the value of the opposite. So that is 12 and this is 24, which is 12 times 2. So we have this special triangle, which is x and 2x and x root 3. The angle in front of x is 30. The angle in front of x root 3 is 60. And this one is 90. So you can figure out that this is x and this is 2x, so that is x root 3. So this value is 60. So you can just get sine 60 or saying 12 root 3 over 24, and that will be root 3 over 2. Okay, there's many other ways. You can just use your calculator, and you know that you have the adjacent and you have the hypotenuse, so you can say that the cosine of this value is 12 over 24. So now you have the angle. We said shift the cosine or inverse the cosine. We know that the angle is 60. So what is sine 60? That is root 3 over 2. Same value. Press 1 if you understand. This is from trigonometry lesson. Basics of trigonometry. Very straightforward question. So this is the last question in module 1. So let's start in module 2. Let's begin with module 2. What is your first mistake in module 2 so you can... Okay. So let's start with question 3. This is the first question in module 2. X minus k times 7x plus t minus x minus k. In the given equation, k and t are positive constants. A solution to this equation is negative 22 over 7. So we can remove x and put negative 22 over 7. So we have 0 equals negative 22 over 7 minus k times 7 times negative 22 over 7, which is 7x, plus t. That is minus 22 over 7 with negative minus k. So first, let's remove this 7 with this one. Okay, so we have negative 22 over 7 minus k times negative 22 plus t minus negative 22 over 7 minus k. So here we can uh, do factorization by grouping. How do you factorize by grouping this? So this one is negative 22 already. This bracket is exactly equal to this bracket. So we take it as a common factor. So 0 is equal negative 22 over 7 minus k times, and we take this element, we remove this bracket, so we have negative 22 plus t minus. From this element, there is only one because we already took the bracket. So we should know from the beginning that this is a two element equation. This is the first one. This is the first term. And this is the second one. So from the first term, we took this bracket, and from the second term, we took this bracket, so it left us with this equation. We have negative 22 over 7 minus k times negative 22 plus t minus 1. So here, you have two brackets, multiply with each other, the value is equal to 0. This cannot happen unless one of them is equal to 0. So let's start with this one. Negative 22 over 7 minus k is equal to 0. From this value, you can get the value of k. And here you also can say like negative 22 plus t minus 1 is equal to 0. So negative 22 with negative 1, that is negative 23. And send it to the other side, t will be equal to 23. And if you solve this one and makes it equal to 0, you can get k, but he asked it for t, that is 23. If you understand, press 1. That is from expressions and equations. It is a medium or hard question. Expressions and equations, and also factorizations. Two lessons here, expressions and equations and factorizations. Second question is question number 4. In the figure, line Q is parallel to line R, and both lines are intersected by line S. So we know those are parallel, and this one will be the traversal. So this angle is equal to this one, corresponding angles, and this angle is equal to this one, vertically opposite angle, because they are intersecting of two lines, and this one is equal to this one also, alternate interior angles, or the Z rule, and this one is equal to this one, sorry, this one plus this one is 180. Those are supplementary angles. He's saying that y is equal to x plus 9. What is the value of x? From here we can get the value of y. Y plus 61 is equal to 180. So y is equal to 180 minus 61, which is 119. So here we can remove y and put 119 equals 2x plus 9. Take this 9, send it to the other side, or negative 9 on both sides, leaves us here 110. 119 minus 9 equals 2x. Divide 2 in both sides, that is 110 divide 2, which is 55. This is the value of x. That from properties of 2D shapes, or geometry 1, this thing is, we took in geometry 1, write the name of the lesson, and after you get the y, you use the equation manipulation to get the x. You plugged in y in this equation. So there's two lessons. The first one is geometry 1, and the second one is equation manipulation. He mixed the geometry with the algebra to in this question. Make sure you write the name of the lessons so you can do the improvement plan on the most important lesson from your list. I choose. You should send me all the lessons you have mistaken in, and I give you the what is the best to improve until the next mock exam. Okay, the next question is question 9. Anyone have any questions before 9? This one is a circle with a center 7 and negative 3, and also with a radius r, because this is x minus h all power 2 plus y minus k all power 2 equals r power 2. So here, this is the h, This is negative k, so the k itself is negative 3, and r is equal to 1. Circle B is obtained by translating circle A to the right 4 units. So if this one is at 7 and negative 3, and with radius 1, we take this circle and send it to the right 4 units. So that's it, like this. So this 7 will be 7 plus 4, which is 11. So now we know that the center is 11 and the same negative 3, and the radius is itself. So we need to get x minus 11 power 2 and y minus negative 3, which is y plus 3 power 2, equals 1. This is the equation. Here there's two lessons you should know to solve this question. The first one is circles. The second one is function transformations. Circles plus function transformations, you need to revise those two lessons if you uh, solved question 9 wrong. Okay. Okay. Okay, we missed the question 7 and 8. Question 7, to study fluctuations in leaf water potential, samples of wood were taken from 27 trees and cut in the shape of cube. The length of edges of one cube of this cube is 3 centimeters. This cube has a density of 0.17 grams per cubic centimeter. So this gives us a clue that it is 0.7 grams for each cubic centimeter. So from this unit rate, you can understand which one is united. The centimeter is united, the one in the denominator. What is the mass of this cube in grams? So we have the volume. How we have the volume? He gives you the dimension of the cube. He said it is a cube with dimension 3 centimeters. So the volume is 3 times 3 times 3. That is 27 centimeter cube. Using unit rates and ratio lesson, you can create the rates triangle. Putting 0.7 in the rates, and here you put the total number of grams, and here you put the centimeter cubes. So we have 27 centimeter cubes. Now you can know the number of the grams by multiplying both of them. So the number of the grams that he's asking for is 0.17 multiply 27. That is the first solution. The second solution, also using unit rates and ratios, you put grams and centimeter cubes. You see, for each 0.17 grams, there is only 1 centimeter cube. What if we have 27 and we need the number of the grams? So you multiply those together, divide this one, so that leaves us with 0.17 times 27 divide 1. It is also 0.17 times 27. So you can just calculate this one and you get the number of the grams of this cube. It is 4.59 grams, but you just write 4.59. That is from unit rates and ratios lesson. Unit rates and ratios. And this one exactly in the unit rates part. Also, there is a solid geometry, but the key here is not the solid geometry. The key lesson here is unit rates and ratios. Solid geometry is the additional topic in this question. So you should investigate why did you answer this question wrong, and should add to your improvement plan even unit rates and ratios or the solid geometry or both. Send me one if you understand. Okay, question 8. A plumbing company charged its customers $112 for the first hour of plumbing service call and $40 for each additional hour. So this looks like a linear equation, but you cannot use the 112 as initial value, because the 112 is also the initial value plus the first hour amount. So if we said 112, here we should say the slope is 40, but it is not multiplied by x, it is multiplied by x minus 1. So we make sure we paying 40 for each additional hour. not for the first hour. So if the plumber worked like 3 hours, so he will take the 112, that is including the first hour from the 3, and the rest is 2 hours. So 3 minus 1 is 2. So this is the cost. Okay, plus the cost of plumbing parts, which is equal, which equation represents the total cost y in dollars for X hours plumbing service call, where the cost of the parts is Z dollars. So let's investigate first why it gave us X more than or equal to 1. Because what if the plumber worked less than 1 hour? We cannot use this equation. If he worked less than 1 hour, if X is less than or equal 1, we will pay him, or the customer will pay him $112. And this we should represent it through a piecewise equation or piecewise function. Here's it. But if X is more than 1, we use this equation. He will take $112 as the initial value plus the amount for the first hour, and X minus 1 times 40 if X is more than 1. So he's saying that the plumber didn't work less than 1 hour, because if he worked like 1 minute, he also will take $112. If he worked 0 minutes, but he came, he take a look, he didn't do anything, he will take the $112. So the customer will pay him this amount upon X. We don't know what is the value of X, but we know it is more than 1, also plus the Z dollars of the equipments. So the total cost is 40 times X minus 1 plus 12 plus Z. So where is this in the answers? It is not there, so we should distribute this 40 upon this bracket. So 40x minus 40 plus 112 plus Z, negative 40 plus 112 is 72, so it should be y equal 40x, there's x here, plus 72 plus Z. That's it. 40x plus Z plus 72. That's it. This is from linear equations, also a piecewise equation. If you understand, press 1. We already did question 9, so let's jump to question 10. Air will add 135 years old stamp to her original collection, creating a new collection of 52 stamps. Which statement correctly compare the mean ages and the median ages of Air original and new collection? I don't know where is the rest of this table. It looks like there is a table. Maybe this is the number of years and this is the number of stamps. How many stamps? This is the frequency and this is the value. Like 135 years old. So I'll give you the main idea. Now we have the number of stamps, and we have each number, like those, we have 10 stamps, each one of them is like 95 years old. So if you put 135, which is bigger than all of this, if you added 1 with 135, so this is a frequency table. This frequency, let's imagine this one is like 65 and the R3. So now we have 65 and 65 and 65. We have 3 stamps. Each one of them is 65 years old. And one is 85. Those are not only one. Those are 685. So we have 685s. And we have 590s. And we have 1095s. But now we added to all of this 135, which is more than all of them. Now the mean will become larger. Now we are adding a value. We are adding a value which is more than all of them, and it is also more than the mean. If you adding new value to the data set more than the mean is becoming larger. But what about the median? So what about the median? The median mostly will not change, because if there are 51 values, the median is at the value number 51 divided 2 is 25.5. It is at number 26. So what is the value of number 26? We should have the whole table. We don't have it. But if we have it, it will be like here. So if you moved it one step forward, it should be, or it could be the same value or the value after it. So we don't know if the median will change or not unless we know the values, but most probably it will not change or will change with a small amount. So the mean age of the new collection is greater than the mean. Yes, the mean will 100% will be greater, but the median of the new collection is greater. No, the median is the same, but the mean is greater. Yes, that's most probably, but we should get the number, the whole table, so we should know exactly if the median will be in the same collection or the median will be taken in step one forward, because even after you adding this value, the number of the data will not be 51, will be 52. That will leave us with an even number data, so the median will be two values, which is 26th, and also the next one, which is 27th. So now we will have this same value and the one in front of it. So this value, where was it? Was it the last one on those? So the next one is the 90, or was it like the second one here? So the next one is the same. If they are the same, it will be the same. So we don't know exact, but I give you the main idea about this question. This from uh, data analysis applications lesson. There is a data analysis and a data analysis applications. This one from data analysis applications, what he did a new entry. He added new value to the main data set he have. Make sense? Write the name of the lesson, the name of the topic. Question 11. A certain open star cluster containing M types stars and K types stars. The estimated total mass of M types and K types stars in this open star cluster is 129,492 quatagrams. The graph shows the model of the possible combinations of number of M types stars and K types stars. Okay. And he said Z. I see that all of the X's in this exam became Z. I don't know why. It should be X, not Z. And the number of K types is the Y. So what is he asking for? This could be in this open star cluster for all the M types stars have the same estimated mass, and all the K types stars have the same estimated mass based on the graph, which is the following closest to the estimated mass in Q of each M star in this cluster. Okay, so now we know that if we took any value like this one, 100 M type, so that's leave us here with almost 50 K type. So we know that the M type is the X with a coefficient, and the Y type is the Y with a coefficient, and that is equal 129 for 192. This is the value, which is the constant. So now he wants to get the A and the B. How much is the mass of the M type? He wants the A exactly. So to get the A, the best thing is to substitute with this point. So we know if we have, this is 150, this is 140, this is 160, so that's like 155. If we have 155x and we have 0 y's, we only have 155x. We have 0 y's, so 0 times anything is 0. So A, the coefficient of x, the mass of x, multiply 155 is this value. So now if you choose this one, you choose all of them from M type. There is 0 K types. That is 0. So now you can send the 155 to the other side by dividing both sides by 155. That leaves us that A is equal to 129,492 divide 155. So that is 835.4, almost 830, because maybe this value is not exactly 155. Maybe it is 153, 154. We took it by the numbering sense. It is somewhere between 150 and 160. What if he asked for the mass of the K type, which we model it in y-axis. So now we can use this point, which is like almost 135, and x is 0. So now we know that 135 of the k-type times the average mass of them is equal to this value. If you took something in the middle like this, 50 of those and 100 of those, it should be giving you also this amount, this same amount. That is a linear equation in the standard form. This is from linear equation in the standard form. He asked it for the coefficient of x. Now we have the average mass of M types, or the mass of each one of M types, multiply their number, plus the mass of Y types or K types, multiply their number. How many of the K types we have, it gives you this amount that he gives us in the beginning. So it is exactly equal to the standard form of the linear equation, ax plus by equals c. If you understand, send one, comment one, or in the chat. Question 12. The positive number a is 3700 percentage of c. So a is equal 3700 percentage of c. The percentage symbol is also 1 over 100, so it is 37 hundreds over 100c. That leaves us with a is equal to 37c. C is 20 percentage of b, so c itself is 0.2 or 20 percentage, or 20 over 100 of b. So that is 0.2 of b. And this is a dot. We finished this sentence. So this is a new equation. A minus b is equal to wc. A minus b is equal to w multiplied by c. We don't have w. And he's saying what is the value of w. So let's substitute those, or let's try first to get, here we have two equations with three unknowns, a, b, and c. So we cannot solve. So we will try to do something by equation manipulation. We cannot get the a or the b or the c, but we want to compare those sides. So here's is w times c. So I want the left hand side to be something in terms of c. So I will remove a and substitute its value in terms of c, which is 37c. So 37c minus b. How much b in terms of c? Let's put this 0.2 to the other side. So b is equal to c over 0.2. Now we know that there is c in both sides. I can take from here the c as a common factor. So c is equal to 37 minus 1 over 0.2. 0.2 is 2 over 10. Denominator, the denominator is coming up to be numerator. So that is 10 over 2, which is 5. So 1 over 0.2 is also 5. That is equal w times c. You can divide c in both sides. So 37 minus 5 is 32 times c is equal to w times c. So w is equal to 32. Now we solved it using equation manipulation lesson. We don't have the value of a or the value of c or the value of b. But with the equation manipulation, we could compare both sides to get the value of w. This question is from lesson equation manipulation from unit 1, from algebra 1. Make sure you write the name of the lesson so you start your improvement plan after you do this mock exam. You should send me all all of your lessons that you had mistakes in the exams from. So I choose for you the most important lesson for you, so you improve. This is your special homework. Question 13. An object is launched into the air from the ground level according to the quadratic model. 2.1 seconds after the object is launched, it reached its maximum height of 70.56 feet above the ground. So now he said that this one is a parabola. And he said that after launching, when x is equal to 0, when the time is equal to 0, we don't know what is the amount, how high from the ground it is launched from. But after launching it, by 2.1 seconds, so at x equal 2.1, it reached its maximum value. And its maximum value was at 70.56. So now we have the vertex. And when he says maximum, we know that this parabola is looking downward. So now we have the vertex of this parabola. We have the y equals a times x minus 2.1 power 2 plus 70.56. So we are searching for another value to get the a. This is the vertex form. Here is the h and here is the k. Which equation represented this model in the object? Oh, here is the another information. He said an object is launched into the air from the ground level. So we know that it starts from the ground level, which is, what is the ground level? Which is the origin. He starts from the origin. We know it is launched from the ground level. So we know that if x is equal to 0, which x here represent the time, the height is equal to 0. So now we can plug in with this point, x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0. So 0 is equal to a times negative 2.1 power 2 plus 70.56. Now we can send this one with the negative value. Negative 70.56 is equal to a times negative 2.1 power 2. The power 2 will remove the negative. Then we send this one to the other side by dividing by 2.1 power 2 in both sides. Let's get the value of a. Negative 70.56 over 2.1 power 2. The power 2 is only for the 2.1. That is negative 16. So we now know that the whole equation is y equals negative 16 times x minus 2.1 all power 2 plus 70.56. We can reform this to any other form, like the general form or the vertex form, but all the answers is a vertex form. So what we need to do, just to choose it. This one is wrong because it says 16. That should be a parabola looking upward, not downward. And this one is correct. This one is wrong because he said that the x value of the vertex is negative 2.1 because it is x minus h. And and instead of using x, he used t. So this is no problem. And instead of y, he used f of x or f of t. That is also no problem. This is from quadratic functions or parabola lesson. Write the name of the lesson. Question 15. The volume of a right rectangular prism with a square base is 539 cubic centimeter. If the area of each of the four lateral faces is 77 square centimeters. Rectangular prism is a rectangle. Then we made a depth for it or height. So this is the top base, and there is a bottom base. This one, and there is four lateral faces. This and this and this side and this side. Okay, so he said that the area of each of the four lateral faces is 77. What is the height of this? So we have the volume. We have length times width times height. Length multiply width multiply height is 539. So we have the length times height. Length multiply height is equal to 77. And the width multiply height is equal to 77. From here, we can solve those three equations together to get the value of the height. We have three unknowns in the three equations. So first, let's substitute the length and the width in terms of height. Here, what is the length? The length is 77 over height. Because this is the area of this face, and he said the area of this face is 77. Okay, the area of each of the four lateral faces is 77 centimeter square. And what is the width? Here the width is 77 over the height also. So let's remove the width, putting its value. Let's remove the length, putting its value. It will be 77 over height multiply 77 over height multiply height is equal to 539. So now we just remove height by height, then send this height to the other side by multiplying by height in both sides. Then send this 539 to the other side, so it is 77 power 2 over 539. That is the value of height. So let's calculate this value. 77 power 2 over 539, that is 11. So the height is 11. If you understand, just send one. This is from solid geometry, also plus nonlinear systems. There's two lessons. The key here is the nonlinear systems, because how we will solve the three equations in three unknowns? We're using nonlinear systems. We substituted both length and width in this equation, so we get another equation with only one variable, which is height. If you understand, send one. Question number 17. Okay, so he's saying that the graph of y equal f of x plus 2 is shown above. Which of the following define the function f of x? This is f of x plus 2. So to get f of x, what should we do? We should remove this 2. We should do minus 2. We should take this y, which is equal to f of x plus 2, and do negative 2. If you did negative 2 here, it's like taking y and doing plus 2. That makes that saying that you are taking this 2 points down. So this point, which is 0 and 4, is coming to 0 and 2. And this one, which is 2 and 1, will be 2 and the negative 1. So this is a new value. You can just try the answers. You know, two points. We know that when x is equal to 0, y is equal to 2. And when x is equal to 2, y is equal to negative 1. So let's start x with 0. Anything power 0 is 1. So that's a negative 1 plus 1, which is 0. Not correct. Here, 0. That is negative 1 plus 3. That is 2. This is correct for the first point. Let's try the others. This is negative 1 plus 4, 3. Not correct. Negative 1 plus 5, 4. Not correct. This is the correct answer because all of them didn't pass it through this point. This is the first solution. If you understand, press 1. So I'll give you another solution. This one, depending on function transformations lesson only. Okay. If you want to make sure, you can choose the next one, which is 2 and negative 1. Put here 2. 2 power 2 is 4. With a negative, it's a negative 4 plus 3. That is negative 1. All the rest will be wrong. Okay. Okay. The other solution. First, you take this one 2 units down, no problem. Or you saying that this is an exponential equation. That is exponential equation that had so many transformations. Let's say that y equal a times r power x and a is equal to 1. So let's say that y is equal 1 times r power x. That's passing through 1 and going upward like this. Okay. Then to make it here like this 4, he dropped it with 3 units downward like this. Then it reflected it around the x-axis. So it become like this. Okay, so that makes this minus 3, then puts negative in the y. So that's to reflect it around the x-axis, you remove y with a negative y. So that leaves us, take this negative to the other side. So that leaves us with y equal negative r power x plus 3. So what is the value that is looks like this one only, and here the r is equal to 2. So y in the beginning it was equal to 2. Okay, that's another solution. This is one is harder to understand, but it is faster to solve with. The first solution is trying the answers. Let me know that you understand both of them. Question 18. F of x equals 5x power 2 plus 6x 60x plus 181. This is a quadratic equation. And he gave us another function which is g of x. It is g of x is the same as f of x, but after translating it 8 units to the left. So we remove each x by x plus 8. What is the minimum value of g of x? If you have a parabola, any parabola, this is the minimum value. And you translated it left or right, either. The minimum value is the same. What will change? The thing that will be changed is the x value that bring us the minimum value. And he didn't ask for this. He just asks for the minimum value. So now we can get the minimum value of f, and it is the same value as the minimum value of g. So how to get the minimum value? You should get the vertex. First, you can get the x value of the vertex by negative b over 2a. Then you substitute this in the function to get the y value of the vertex. Negative b is negative 60. This is b. Over 2 times a, which is 5. So it is negative 60 over 10. That leaves us with negative 6. What is the value of f of negative 6? Put negative 6 here. Let's use the calculator. Where is it? I'll put uh, uh, negative 6 first in the calculator and press equal. Then we said 5 multiply answer power 2, because answer now is negative 6 plus 60 times answer plus 181. This is the y value of the vertex, which is 1. So we know that the minimum value is 1. What will happen if we removed this parabola and translated it 8 units to the left? The minimum value will be the same. What will happen that this negative 6 will become negative 6 minus 8. That's a different thing. So the vertex here is negative 6 and 1. After you remove for g of x, the vertex will be negative 6 minus 8, that is negative 14, and also 1. So the minimum value is still 1. That is from quadratic equations and also function transformation. Press 1 if you understand. Send me one. Comment with one wherever you see this live or on the record. Question 19. In a set of 4 consecutive odd integers where the integers are ordered from least to greatest, we have consecutive odd integers 4. So if we started like with 3, the next one is 5, the next one is 7. So if we started with x, the next one is x plus 2, because all of them are odd. They are consecutive but odd only. So the next one is x plus 4, the next one is x plus 6. The first integer represented by x, that's what we did. The product of 28 and the third odd integer is the set, and the set is at the most value is at most the value of 50 less than the sum of the first and the fourth odd integers in the set. So let's translate this sentence. The product, that is the result of the multiplication of 28 and the third odd, that's x plus 4 times the 28. What is the value of x plus 4 times the 28? In the set, at most is at most the value of, at most means it is less than. At most is the maximum for it to be, 50 less than the sum of the first and the fourth. The first and the fourth is x plus 6. This is the sum of the first and the fourth, and this one is at most 50 less than. So let's translate at most 50 less than. I'm saying that I am, me, Muhammad, and you students, I am at least bigger than you by 15 years. So when I add your age by 15 years, you student, plus 15 years, I'm still bigger. So you is at most less than my age, or sorry, at least less than my age by 15 years. So if I removed 15 years, I'm still older. So here it says at most. So if we, at most the value is at most the value of 50 less than the sum. So if we remove the 50 from here, this one is still less than. We remove the 50 from the bigger, and it is still bigger or equal. Okay, so what is the greatest possible value for x? Now we can solve this. 2x plus 6 minus 50, that is 2x minus 44, and here 28x plus 28 times 4, 4 times 20, 80, and 4 times 8, 32, that is 112. So let's bring those 2x here with the 28, that is 26x, because they're coming in a negative value, and this is, send this one to the other side, that is negative 124 minus 112, that is negative 156, divide 26, so x should be less than Negative 156. Divide 26. That is negative 6. So x is less than or equal negative 6. That is the even number. He said x is an odd value. It is not even. And it is less than, so it could be negative 7. This is the greatest possible value of x. He didn't say they are positive. If you understand, send 1. Okay, so this is from 2 lessons. The first one is the word problems of expressions and equations, not or even the equation manipulations, and also the inequalities. 2 lessons: word problems of expressions and equations, and also inequalities. Question number 20. Bismillah. Question 20. Negative 2x power 2 plus bx minus 32. In the given equation, b is a positive integer. The equation has no real solutions. What is the largest possible value of b? No real solutions mean that the discriminant, which is b power 2 minus 4ac, is less than 0. There is solutions, but not real. They are imaginary solutions. So b is b, and a is negative 2, and c is negative 32. So b power 2 minus 4 times a, which is negative 2, times c, which is negative 32, is less than 0. So negative 2 times negative 32 is positive 64. 64 times negative 4, that is b power 2 minus 4 times 64. 4 times 6, 24. So that's 244 times 60. 4 times 4 is 16. So 240 plus 16, 256. So let's send the 256 on the other side. That leaves us with b power 2 less than or equal to 156. Let's square root both sides. Here there is a important note. Square root b power 2 is absolute value of b. So absolute value of b is less than square root 256. Okay, square root 256 is almost 15. Square root 256, it is 16. So now we know that absolute value of b is less than 16, and the absolute value means absolute value of b minus 0. That's the distance between b and 0. So that means that the distance from 0 is 16. So b could be even between 0 and 16, or between 0 and negative 16. So b is somewhere here. The distance between b and 0 is less than 16 without or equal. So b will be somewhere between negative 16 and 16. What is the largest possible value of b, which will be less than 16? That is 15. If you didn't solve this part like this, at least you can split the page and write b is less than 16, or negative b is less than 16. So b is more than negative 16. That leaves us with the same range. So to be positive, and the largest thing is 15, because there is no or equal. If you put this or equal, that makes it not just no real solutions, that has also one real solution, because if the discriminant to be equal 0, it has one real solution. This is from quadratic equations or parabola or quadratic function lesson. Question 21. The function f and g are defined in the equation shown, where a and 6, maybe a and b, that should be b. A and b are integers, constant. A is less than b, b is less than 0. So a is a negative value because b is a negative value, and a is less than b. Graphed in the xy plane, which of the following equation display as a constant or coefficient the y coordinate of the y-intercept? So he asking which of those, when you put x, when you just look at them, you can find the y-intercept. The y-intercept is the initial value of the exponential equation if x do not have any plus or minus. What does this mean? If I put here x minus 2, That means that a is times r power x times r power negative 2. So the initial value is all of those two things, not just the a. The a is not the initial value anymore. But when it is r power x, when you put x is equal to 0, this is 1. Anything power 0 is equal to 1, so it leaves us with a. So a is the initial value. So let's see, if we put here x with 0, the initial value is a times the 3.3 plus power b. That is not the initial value. So the initial value is not just there by looking at the function. He's saying to be displayed as a constant or coefficient. So we should see the initial value. A is not the initial value anymore because x plus b. Also, if you put here x is equal to 0, that leaves us with a times 1 plus d. So the initial value is a plus d, not just a, not just d. So it is not there anywhere as a constant or coefficient, neither 1 nor 2. We need to put, when you put x is equal to 0, you just find the initial value without any adding, without any multiplying, without doing anything. You just find the initial value. So this is not any of those. So how to convert this one to be to display the initial value as constant or coefficient? Just split x plus b, so to be a times the 3.3 power b times 3.3 power x. Now you have the initial value. Where is it? Here is it. This is the initial value. This is a times r power x. So the answer here is D. That is from uh, um, exponential equations or exponential function. Question 22. 1 over x times c equals x over 76 plus 1 over c. C is a constant. If the equation has exactly one solution, what is the value of c? So to convert this one to a regular equation, we should multiply by x. Now, both sides, you multiply x by in both sides. So now you can find 1 over c is equal to x power 2 over 76 plus x over c. We multiply this by x, so we remove this x. Here is power 2, here is x over c. So send this one to the other side. That is x power 2 over 76 plus x over c minus 1 over c is equal to 0. To make this one has exactly one solution, you need the discriminant, which is b power 2 minus 4ac, to be equal 0. So b is 1 over c, so 1 over c power 2, minus 4 times a, which is 1 over 76, times the constant, which is negative 1 over c. We need all of this to be equal to 0. So that's leave us with 1 over c power 2, negative times negative is a positive, 4 over 76c is equal to 0. So now we have c power 2 in the denominator. Multiply the whole equation by c power 2. That leaves us with 1 plus 4 over 76c. Because if you multiply by c power 2 and there is c in the denominator, remove one of the two c's in the denominator with the one in the denominator, equals 0. So send this one to the other side. So 4c over 76 is equal to negative 1. Send the 76 by the multiplication, then the 4 by the division. So now you have c should be equal to negative 76 over 4. That is the value of c that should be, to make this equation has exactly one solution. That's it. 76 over 4 should be 19, but with a negative value it is negative 19. If you understand, send 1. This is also from quadratic equations or nonlinear systems, because if you said that the y left hand side is y equal 1 over cx and the right hand side is this value, so you have nonlinear system. This one was a line, so you have two solutions. Okay.